All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Why did I look like three hands, three fingers? We're off to a great start. And today we're learning a little bit about love. We're going to be learning how to find the right person and build a relationship that'll last a lifetime. Or it seems like we'll be learning how to try and manipulate somebody into wanting that with us. So a while back, I was scrolling through my TikTok where my feed was nothing but the Costco guys edits and the short TV ads that made me make my last video. And at some point on my For You page, I came across this.
You women nowadays are always telling men that we don't want girlfriends. We want moms. When we ask you to do basic women-like things for us. No, we want you to act like women in our mom's generation.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, I was a little concerned when I heard that for the first time. I was also very glad to realize that it was actually a stitch that somebody made. I really thought that the algorithm figured out I was single and tried to sink their red pill fangs into my neck. You're gonna have to try harder than that. I have a really hard neck. After I watched it a couple times, I kind of looked and realized that this guy looked really familiar. And as soon as I realized who this was, I immediately covered my drink because I realized this was Nate Garner.
You girls need to go back in the kitchen.
What's up? Yeah, that's me. Yikes. And this is my life. Let me show you how I got here.
So before we get to his recent content ventures, I want to walk you through his digital footprint. Just kind of peel back the layers of Nate and see why this grift was really not that surprising. You may remember him if your birth year starts with 19 and you currently have sciatic back pain because he got his start on Vine. If you've seen my channel before, you know I'm one of the few of us left that still defend Vine being funny. I'm never turning my back on Free Shavakadu, alright? That's my for lifer right there. But as much as I defended, I do admit there were a lot of creators with followings that really didn't deserve it. One of the things Nate became known for was lip syncing while driving and hashtagging it Nate from his car. And when you first read that, you might think he's going to say something smart or wise or at least funny or anything of substance, but instead it was this. I guess now that we know the advice he wants to give people, it's probably good that he wasn't at this time. Oh, and don't worry, because he also dipped his toes into some very relatable high school comedy.
What's number 10? Just finished my homework early, now time for some church studies. Yeah, don't do drugs, kid.
I'm not going to fault him for making cringy high school jokes because at the time he was in high school. And so were most of us, and we still thought it was funny at the time probably. I still remember people I knew not liking his videos that much. Maybe it was just me and my friends being kind of snooty and gatekeeping Vine. If you just wanted to lip sync in your car and look hot, Musical.ly was literally right there. Sorry Nate, but Vine is for the real comedians.
I want a little pony, and after the little pony, can I please have the
And nobody gets the time for that.
And then he also got a lot of flack for making fun of this kid dancing.
What are you doing? Stop! I'm embarrassed to be white. Just sit down and do your homework.
Dude, calm down. Bro, this kid is such a loser. Can you believe this stupid kid's trying to dance? Everybody knows you cannot be a real dancer unless you're hot, and this kid is not hot at all. So after looking at this for a little bit, it's very obvious why Nate got a following, or he garnered one. He's a conventionally attractive white boy from Brea, California. Is it Brea? I don't care. With a jawline that could also be a fucking can opener. I'm pretty sure when Thor lost his hammer and had to get the axe thingy, he could have just used Nate instead. Yo, Thanos, you trying to go for the head or what? Now this led to Nate getting modeling gigs and even getting to go on the very prestigious Digi Tour with Lauren Gray and nobody else I ever heard of. What's that right there, Nate? What are you... That wasn't you dancing, was it? Because unless I checked... You're white. And I could have sworn. And he was also supposed to do a tour with the Dolan twins, but got kicked out before it even started. We don't really know what happened, but if I had to give a very professional guess, I would say it's because the magnitude of all of their jawlines being in one single vicinity like that would have collapsed the entire universe. They were really looking out for the entire universe, so I highly respect that of them. What if he was doing what he does now, but on stage in front of children. All right, how's everyone doing tonight? We doing good? Oh, all right, listen up, girls. And I think everybody was kind of hoping that when Vine shut down, Nate and anybody adjacent to him were just going to kind of fade out into obscurity, be left behind in the internet zeitgeist as like a product of their times, but something we've fully evolved past the need for. But Nate was lucky enough to have a second coming on YouTube where he had a couples vlog / prank channel with his girlfriend at the time, which ended up well because I said girlfriend at the time. Now at the time, this was definitely your run-of-the-mill couples channel where Nate and Carissa claimed to be family friendly while doing shit like this.
You want to tell them about your boob job?
Out of all people, you know that they're real as shit, baby. Jealous they're all packaged up and you can't play with them. Look at my tits, ayy, look at my tits.
And we definitely know these videos were very real and like not staged in the slightest. Like how else could they do the exact same pranks to each other months apart? They were such good pranksters, they could recycle them without the other one even knowing. Like that's genius. And I'm not gonna do like a super deep dive into these, but I do want to bring up this one where Carissa puts Viagra in Nate's drink and then like tries to seduce him.
That tastes good.
That's not a lemon off, that's a suck off.
You want me to fuck you?
Super funny, by the way, and not like fucked up at all. You should totally do that to your boyfriends. Nate never got her back with that one, which was probably for the best. I don't think it would have went well if Nate poured a mysterious substance into a girl's drink and then was like, hey, no, it was a prank. I was just pranking you. I bet you feel stupid right now. But alas, all good things must come to an end, which is why Nate and Carissa broke up with a 9-part series. Just milking your relationship until the very tail end, you know? I also want to mention all these videos together come out to like a 40-minute runtime. I think anytime I've ever seen an influencer couple announce their breakup, it's always been like a few minutes because there's really not much left to say. It's literally just supposed to be like, hey, we're breaking up and we're not making videos anymore. Goodbye. Like, I don't think you need a Netflix original series runtime just to say you're not dating anymore. Again, I'm not gonna like dive into all of this either. You can go watch them if you want, I guess. But I think it's important to bring up this part where Carissa announces that she's gonna be making her own YouTube channel. Nate claims he like wants to help with it, I guess.
I will be making my own YouTube channel, which is absolutely absurd.
Crazy, I would have never thought that would happen. It's gonna fail, but the only reason it's not gonna fail is because I'm gonna help her with the secret spread.
Dude, just fuck off at that point. Like, I'll just do it myself if you're gonna be that mean about it. Yeah, he got decent views, but I don't think he had like the keys to becoming an influencer overnight. Even though we did try to sell the secrets to content creation in a course that did not work, which we have proof of. And also, if I didn't know any better, it kind of sounds like you were only doing this to still have some level of control over Carissa. You know, it's not like any of that would be supported by Carissa making a TikTok talking about like a narcissistic ex that scarred her for life or anything, right? Or maybe this YouTube video she made opening up about her mental health struggles, where she brings up all of the mental and physical abuse during this time. And if you needed any more context clues, there's also this unrelated TikTok of a certain influencer yelling at somebody.
Headphone warning.
I live in this space, you fuck! I'm not just talking your bullshit little cheerleader world. And I want to fuck all your bullshit little cheerleader friends.
If I had to make one guess, for a second there, I was going to say it was the kid from the Costco Guys videos. I don't think he has it in him to be that mean, you know? Maybe the dad would if they ran out of his double chunk chocolate cookie. Now, given everything I've walked you through today, I don't think it's too far-fetched to like hope that Nate never stepped foot on the internet ever again. And for a while, I think we almost had it. There was a while that he was only posting on Instagram, which is easy to do when you look like Nate. You know, like when you lift and have a six-pack and you don't really need to say any more than like a few words for a caption, because people can't try to figure out if you're a terrible person if you're not going to show any semblance of a personality. Oh, and Nate did also have an OnlyFans where he was posting explicit content, and I don't want to talk about how I had to find that out, which normally I really wouldn't give a shit if somebody does, but I think it's important considering the things he's going to say here in a little bit. But eventually Nate remembered the password to his TikTok and started posting on there again. And at first it was kind of just normal stuff like being with his family, talking about his sobriety and everything, completing the transformation into handsome Squidward. But then it all started when he posted this TikTok. And at first this one sounds like a joke, even if every comment is defending dad bods, which I really appreciate. Really glad y'all are looking out for us. I appreciate that. But then the content started seeming less and less satirical, like this one where he says to stop paying for adult content. You just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You just don't understand our love, the connection that we have, okay? You know, she depletes my bank account and I'm currently in debt, but I get to see her butt sometimes. So it's just true love. You don't even know what it's like because you got broken up with by Carissa. Also, Nate, you've done the exact same thing. I don't think it's really fair to talk down on people that pay for adult content when at one point that was a source of income for you. I also want to mention this one where he says that dates don't have to be fancy to impress the other person, which is something I do agree with, but then he says that a simple date is like driving your convertible into the sunset with her. Like that was the poorest thing he could think of. Dude, you don't need elaborate dates to impress women, all right? All you have to do is just have a chill date night. You can take her back to your mansion. Oh, you don't have a mansion? Okay, no worries. Just like buy her 100 roses and take her out to your yacht, and then you don't have a yacht either. Oh my god, okay. Well, you at least have like a convertible, right? Oh my fucking god. I mean, just, I don't know, man. Verbally and physically torment her and see where that gets you, because that's worked for me a few times. Now, hearing that didn't give me a ton of hope, but I didn't think it was going to get worse. That is until this motherfucker pops out with a podcast microphone. Every time I see the jokes about like banning men from buying microphones, it's these guys that make me agree with them. And it's always the Rode mic specifically. Anytime I see a man about to talk into a Rode mic, I proceed with a lot of caution.
Why are you following random naked chicks on Instagram? I don't even follow random naked chicks that I could get with because there's no interest, there's no value to me. I would have to give a girl that's showing her body to the world off attention and hope that she gives me attention back. The OnlyFans model uses you for money and for likes. You're just building this woman's career.
Wow, okay. Let's hear what else Nate has to say.
Women should never split the bill on the first date. Hear me out, guys, because I don't know why we're pushing this narrative. Would you go buy a new car if you couldn't afford the new car? Would you go buy designer clothes if you couldn't afford the designer clothes? Would you go buy a new house if you couldn't pay for the house?
All right, yep, there it is. We have him now. It's like the textbook way to know that like a guy sucks. I don't want to hear you out if your only comparison to make your point make sense is with property. I also want to mention like footing the entire bill like he says isn't going to automatically guarantee that like you're going home with them that night. There's this TikTok from a while back I remember where somebody was filming her date and he was trying to pay the bill. She insisted like she could pay for her own meal. He was very adamant about paying for it himself. And then like after the date she says that she's really tired and just wants to go home, and then the guy like freaks out on her.
Dinner and
I get it.
No, it's not like that.
I get it.
No, it
It's
seriously
all right.
isn't. No, I mean, I don't fuck.
Man pays for dinner.
I don't fuck on the first date, and I feel like you've been kind of like,
Who said
you've been acting like it this entire.
Do it. Fuck it.
Are you serious right now?
Yep, just do it. Pay for your own bill.
Men like this need to be castrated.
Whoa, okay, Jesus Christ.
So now we know what Nate had to say to the boys, but what do you think he has to say to the ladies?
All right, women, listen up. Do you want a healthy relationship with your boyfriend or a guy you're trying to impress? You need to do this. You have to downplay your past. You can't make it seem like you've had this extravagant, amazing existence. That's just ugly. A guy doesn't want to hear that because he wants to be the one providing that for you.
There's so many things wrong with that. I don't think you should date this guy or anybody that thinks this is good advice, if I'm being honest. I think if somebody's mad that you like had a life before they even knew that you existed, I think that flag is as red as Nate's face was when he was yelling in that video. Like, I think it's kind of fun when you're getting to know somebody and you're learning about the things they've experienced and like seen in their lives. You know, you're just kind of like learning about them as a person. For any of my gamer people that's never been around a woman, this is what's considered world building or like learning the lore. This kind of makes it sound like Nate would get mad about anything that she did before she met him. What if she had already been to the restaurant that he like took her to on the date? Oh, your grandparents took you here when you were 12? Oh, let me guess, and they even paid your bill even though you won't let me pay it for you right now. Well, maybe your grandparents can give you a ride home because it's not gonna be me.
Unique ways to tell somebody that you love them. I am enamored by you. The real estate of my heart is owned by you.
What the fuck? My dearest, I am absolutely astonished by the beauty that has impressed itself upon my receptacles. Like, you know, there's another way you can tell someone that you love them. You know, I'm not like an expert or anything, and I'm definitely just kind of spitballing when I say this, but like, just say you love her. God, I'm just so... I don't know how to say it. I'm so shy right now. I am just absolutely enamored by the way, that you let me pay the entire bill when we go out to dinner, and when you let me control every aspect of your life and scream in your face. And this is one I can almost see being satirical, but like I can also totally see him suggesting just straight up love bombing someone into liking you, and I'm sure that's what he does himself in his own relationships. And you know, this is coming from the same guy who says on the first date you need to make her envision a future with you in it.
Wow, you've wanted to go to Italy? I've always wanted to go to Italy. Imagine that we got matching. I know this is crazy. Now you're having her imagine a future with you and what it would look like. Like, oh, wow, we would look good in Italy together. Oh, wow, I could see a future with this guy. You're putting the future in her head.
The only time that would be good advice is if you were on like a Christian college campus.
Reason I know your name, God told me you're going to be my wife. I get it.
You know, if someone's trying to get a ring by spring, he's kind of got bars. Speaking of first dates, the way that he says to close a girl at the end of the date is to just agree with everything that she says.
What's your favorite movie? Whatever she says. Oh, no, shit. No, shit. That's my favorite movie. Make it seem like the universe connected you guys. Make it seem like she has to get with you.
You need to leave.
Stop talking. Like, it's a little crazy. Every piece of advice he's given is just boiling down to like manipulation. Nothing about like showing your true self or like showing you're a decent human being. Just a lot of saying whatever you think they want to hear and like materialistic gestures, you know, material things. Don't say it, 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 don't say it. Material girl!
A lot of you dudes, man, you guys are getting cheated on before the relationship even starts. I personally have never been cheated on. I'm dead serious. You could ask any of my ex-girlfriends. I've never been cheated on.
I do believe him when he says this, genuinely. Only because his exes were probably too scared to even, like, give him the impression that they were cheating. And I don't know, like, this might sound, like, shitty of me. Are you really cheating on someone that you're like meeting for the very first time ever? Like, I get if you start talking to someone and things kind of are getting more serious and you want to be exclusive, then yeah, stay faithful to them. I don't really think of it as like two-timing somebody if you're just like casually dating and getting to know people. Oh, so I just see you going to a restaurant with some other guy while I'm being loyal and faithful to you? I was with my grandfather. He took me out for my birthday. Oh, and you even have a birthday. You had a birthday before I was in your life, so you don't even need me then. And all of that brings us full circle back to the bullshit you heard at the beginning of the video.
We want you to act like women in our mom's generation. You know, the women that raised us, the women that took care of their husbands, cooked for their husbands, loved their family.
Oh, that's not.
Didn't want to go to work and abandon their kids. Didn't want to party at the clubs all weekend and act like they hate men all the time.
I do laugh anytime people like this say that like women being independent is a new thing because of like Instagram or whatever. When I think like the earliest record of women's suffrage was in like the 1800s or something like that. Maybe when he says act like the women from his mom's generation, his mom was born in like the 1700s. In which case, I'm sure there's a lot of things that he wants to change about society right now. You black people need to listen up. No! And I wanted to bring up how a lot of the comments and stitches I saw to this were bringing up how he's like wearing lip gloss and dangly earrings while saying this, which again is a thing that I normally wouldn't care if a guy does, but I'm sure there isn't a ton of overlap with the guys that look like this and also like want to keep a woman locked up in their house.
If you're a girlfriend out there and you still want to go out with your single friends, you are not in love. There's no such thing as a girl's night out if you're in love. You want to drink wine with the person you're in love with. You want to talk to the person you're in love with.
So you remember that phrase that's like the old ball and chain talking about like your marriage? I think we can bring that phrase back, but only for people that have dated or are currently dating Nate.
The last thing a girl's gonna want to do is go into a bar and party, go into a club, go get bottles around a bunch of strange men trying to get with them.
Yeah, the only strange man she should be around is me, the person who spent the entire first date making you think about a trip to Italy and will also yell at you in your face about fucking all of your friends if you make him mad. I
don't want to fuck all your bullshit friends.
Yeah, you ladies have so much to learn. Speaking of which,
you girls need to go back in the kitchen. But seriously, why do I see on the internet from women all the time that cooking is some oppressive thing, that women shouldn't know how to cook? Who told you this?
I'm starting to think the best advice Nate could take is to just live back home if this is like all he wants from a relationship, because I don't think anybody's ever really said that cooking is like bad or oppressive or anything like that. I think women are just tired of men becoming dependent on them while completely disrespecting them, because at that point it does feel like you are a mother to a child that can't take care of themselves.
How do you survive on this earth? You gotta eat. How do you eat? You have to cook the food. When I have a girl sleep over, if I'm really into her and she sleeps over, the first thing I do for her is I make her breakfast in bed.
I can't stop thinking that he just had like the shittiest breakfast ever. Hey, you know, good morning. I got some breakfast for us. I hope you're ready. I've got strawberry, hot fudge sundae, brown sugar cinnamon, and there's also some Eggo waffles that we can throw in the toaster if you want.
You want to know a way that I always know that my girlfriends were in love with me? They cook for me that night.
Huh?
Really? That's how you knew? Not by like wanting to be around you and spending time with you, like moving in with you, starting a stupid YouTube channel with you, saying that they loved you. And I guess they really weren't saying the words I love you to Nate a lot. The more I dive into this, the more I realize Carissa was kind of a saint for putting up with all of this.
All you women out there claiming cooking is oppressive, you're just projecting because you don't know how to cook. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah? Are you gonna starve your boyfriend? You gonna starve your husband? You gonna starve your kids? You're just gonna make them do it all? Like, hey, 6-year-old, learn how to microwave a Hot Pocket, because I'm not cooking.
Nate, take a breather, man. It's okay, because we know what happens when he starts yelling. I don't really get how 1 second he says cooking is like a survival skill that everyone needs to know how to do, but then gets mad at women for not like knowing how to cook for men. Like, if it's a survival skill, I think they should know how to do it too, right? Also, if you don't know how to cook that well, meal kits are a thing. You know, like... That would have been the best transition into like a sponsorship from a meal kit. Statistically speaking, if I keep like joking about not having sponsors, one of them is going to reach out to me. And as crazy as all of this advice sounds, I think it's worked for him because he's been posting with like a new person. Oh, Nate found his mommy. That's so sweet. We love a happy ending. I think if there was anything you could take away from my video today, it would be to not do any of the stuff that Nate said. Like, at all. Whether he was joking or not, I know some of this was 100% serious, and that's fucking terrifying. Because, like, not every relationship and every person fits into these, like, weird molds that he has inside of his head. Like, there's people out there that really don't care who pays for the date or what kind of car you drive, or even, like, if you're the perfect person. They just want to get to know you and build an actual connection, and that's really hard to do when all you're doing is, like, trying to trick them and impress them with material things. Material girl! Like, just stay true to yourself and be nice, and like you'll find the right person. Plus, if you take his advice, you're not really impressing any women. You know who you're actually impressing? Nate and other guys that think like him. And I don't know about you, but trying to impress other guys is kind of... I swear I'm kidding. Just like, don't be a dickhead. The bar is in hell right now, so as long as you're like nice a little bit, you're already doing pretty well for yourself. So that's going to be everything for me today. So thank y'all so much for watching today. Make sure you leave a like and comment if you enjoyed the video. And also make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an upload from me. Subscribing will also sign you up for my own dating course, which only matches you up with me because I need more friends. So thank y'all again for watching. Stay safe out there, and I will see you next time. So peace out, everyone.
Spending time with somebody I don't know.